أهلا وسهلا في مطبخ جمعة.
اهلا وسهلا بكم في مطبخ جمعة. النهارده هنطبخ 3 اكلات مميزين وجامدين جدا جدا جدا. ابقوا معنا للاكل العراقي.
My name is Philip Juma, founder of Juma Kitchen, celebrating the best of Iraqi cuisine. So today's dishes, I'm going to show you Kuba Hamath, which is a real personal favorite of mine and something that has been a big hit at the pop-ups. Next we've got المسكوف, so it's a very, very modern take and on the classic Iraqi dish, and also dolma. Dolma is just a big favorite of mine and for many of you guys as well, so I'm looking forward to feeding you that. These are probably my favorite part of the dolma dish. It just gives a very sweet flavor against the stuffing of the rice and the lamb mince. So to tell how you get to this, if you'd like to follow me, you've got this end, so we're going to take that end off.
Nice.
Very nice. So now we've got this. We're just going to go halfway to the root. Do you see the way I've just stopped there? Just go halfway to the root. Be careful of your hands. Wow, professional.
Trying to, mate. Trying
Beautiful.
to. Good teacher.
We'll take off the first layer because it's the skin and we don't really want this, okay?
Okay.
What this, let's say, slit does is that it allows for, when this goes into kind of warm water, like simmering water,
Okay.
it allows for the onion to open out.
Expand a little bit. Yeah.
Expand, and also it softens it.
Yeah,
so right now we can't get to those layers. So by parboiling it, it basically softens the onion, it will expand out and it allows us to get layers like this.
Okay.
So here's some I made earlier. Often you'll find there's a membrane around the onion. So you can see a very fine,
thin.
It's like, I'd call it like a membrane or something. I always get rid of that. It's just a bit slimy, the texture is not nice on the palate, and it's just something a little bit more special for the diner.
Detail, I love that.
Always
Detail.
Always details.
الراجل ده بياخد باله من كل تفاصيل الاكل، القطع، المش عارفه ايه، بياخد باله من التفاصيل. عاجبني فيه ان انا شايف الميكس بتاع النص الانجليزي اللي هو محافظ ومنظم، والنص التاني العربي اللي هو فيه ايه الفن، الحته حط دي الحته دي.
So this
It's worth it.
Yeah, you're doing a great job there, by the way. This is lamb mince, rice, our own Juma spice. It's a secret, so don't ask me the ingredients.
Okay.
I think you guessed one of them earlier, but
Wow.
this is something that, as I say, is very dear to me. Okay, let's get cooking. So to stuff the onions, now that we've got this kind of flexibility, all we're taking is a little bit of the mixture.
Okay.
In that, let's say that nook, we push down and we wrap. Okay. There might be some excess that comes out of the side, but that's okay. There might be still some of this slimy layer. Get rid of that, and that's it.
Okay.
So we've got the Juma spice, lamb mince rice, pomegranate molasses, and a little bit of tamarind as well.
I love pomegranate.
Okay.
Good stuff. Not much of an excess, huh?
So let me I need to test that. See, that's a little bit loose for my standards.
It looks because...
So we're just tying. It's going to make it into the pot, don't worry.
Okay.
It's going to make it in there. But yeah, we're just a little tidy up.
Yeah!
So, let's say the presentation and the way in which I approach the dishes, I kind of add my own twists, and I always try and stay as loyal and as truthful to the authenticity and the foundation of the dish. But if I can add an extra texture, layer, colour, another sense, touch, smell, sight, whatever it may be. Now we'll move on to peppers. When I found these are extra sweeter. They're even more kind of like nicer on the plate. The colours, as you can see, red, orange, yellow. It's just awesome. It's just simply wash them, a slit down the side, no boiling, no nothing.
Hello, I am Mr. Pepper and I want to eat some meat. Are you ready for some meat?
Exactly that. You don't want to go too high because remember the rice expands. So leave a little bit room because it's going to be cooked and everything's going to be expanding while it's in the pepper. I'm not sure about this mess here, but the pepper's perfect.
No, mess, don't worry.
As we go on, I'm sure you'll be
mess.
cleaner. With regards to maybe cooking techniques and modernizing certain dishes, I hope hopefully he did learn certain things and how to be a clean and tidy chef. I think that's the main thing. So these are the waraq inab.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're very good, man.
I'm trying.
All right.
So this is the California vine leaf. For me, it's been the best one that I use. I think it's important to give it a little rinse beforehand, which I'll do. Okay, so little things again. Take your stalk, and we just want to snip that off. We don't want to eat that.
No, we don't.
You take your vine leaf as flat as possible. Sometimes you might get some bad ones in the jar. It's okay.
So we put the rough texture.
The vein facing upwards. You want the vein of the leaf facing you.
Okay.
Okay.
العروق.
So take a handful. Obviously, this can be a preference to how let's say heavy or light you want to stuff your vine leaf. I think tradition dictates from my dad that long and thin is kind of the way to go. The dolma for me is just growing up, like when dad used to be cooking the dolma, or my aunties. When there was a special occasion, I just remember him bringing it out on this huge tray. The saucepan upside down. Everyone like waiting in anticipation of what's underneath the saucepan, and then lifting it, and the steam, the smells, the visual. It's just amazing. So we want to roll just straight over. We don't want to go too tight. Like
I don't like it too tight.
You still, as you said, you don't want it a bullet, but it's still you still want it so it doesn't fall apart. You still want it to hold its shape, and even when I throw that in the air.
Believe it, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. I like it all.
Yeah. No, this
I'm
probably.
being very honest.
Yeah, no, this is good. Probably the home cooking, definitely like this.
Yeah.
No, I guess for the sake that I want that on the plate looking nice.
Everybody wants this.
Yeah.
I'm just only the weird one. I'm just telling you personal information.
It's good to have your likes in life.
Yeah.
This is important. Yeah, that's fine.
انا مش متعود على الورق العنب يكون معمول من جواه باللحمه، مش جايه معايا. انا بحبه فيجيتيريان. ايه لوكس فيجيتيريان تو مي؟ خلي اللحمه بره والبتاع بره. الله.
So all I really want is simply just for the garlic to be almost like a crisp level.
Yeah, I love that.
So it's just kind of a few millimeters thick.
I love the way you cook it. It's nice.
I can teach you.
Yeah.
So literally like this, and we just go through very controlled, very steady, the way you hold the knife.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. So now we're going to start layering the dolma pot. This is really important. So first of all, with the garlic that we've cut together, we'll just start off by sprinkling in on the lamb chops. Now at the bottom of the pan, as you can see, and for the people watching, all I've done is just taken some of the onion shells and layered them at the bottom of the pan. What's important is not to kind of go on top.
Yeah.
We want even layers. So if you see little gaps and little nooks, this is really important to fill that area, because without
We
that,
want everything to be cooked, no?
yeah, exactly that. And another important point, when you layer the dolma, often what I do is put the seam at the bottom, so there's less likelihood of it opening.
Okay.
Okay.
Details.
Always.
Details.
Always. Okay, so there's many different versions of how dolma is, let's say, marinated or executed, however it's done. You mentioned tomatoes.
Yeah.
In many parts of Iraq, they use tomatoes in their dolma. We, as our family in northern Iraq, Mosul, we don't use tomatoes. Quite heavy on the pomegranate molasses, and obviously the juma baharat and the other ingredients now. So first of all, salt, very, very important. We go quite generous on the salt because we don't kind of marinate the lamb mince too much. Next we have pomegranate molasses. I love El Wadi pomegranate molasses. It's my favourite. For some reason, I can't find it in the shops before. Lots of quartus. Okay, next up we have lemon.
Okay.
So you can join me on that one. Just squeeze it through your hands so we don't get the pips.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll go for 2, and I'll know by my eyes just how much is coming. So a little bit of oil as well, and then we fill the rest up with water. Now the amount of water is really important. We go so we see this as a layer. This is not quite an even layer of vine leaves, but we want to go 1 vine leaf less with the liquid. So the plate going over the top is really important, and you just want to squeeze it down. So you see when I'm squeezing, it kind of intensifies everything inside that pot, and as you can see, our layering is fine. Lid on, straight onto a high heat. We want to bring that to the boil, and we're going to just listen out for that.
أعزائي المشاهدين أهلا وسهلا، ودلوقتي جاء وقت الإظهار العظيم، ده جراند فينالي، ونظهر الحاجة تو ذا ريفيل. يا جني يا ابنك إن
I'm always nervous on this part.
هوبا.
Okay.
Fantastic.
So we can do a countdown from now. This is the perfect sauce that I like. Not too much, not too little. It's really important to have that there at the bottom of the pan.
Wow. Arab, we have to have
Yeah, fair. I am hungry though, yeah?
No, but I'll make it. Okay, let's do it. Reveal it.
Let's go.
Ta 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 ta. Ta-dum.
So that's what we got there.
Very nice. This is very weird for me, but it's very nice.
The peppers are better.
ولسه طبعا بفضل المحشي اللي بتعمله والدتي واللي بتعمله ستي على الطريقه المصريه الجميله اللي فيها زي ما انا قلت لكم عليها مفضله. بس مش معنى كده ان هو عمل حاجه وحشه، والله العظيم 3 ده فعلا احسن محاشي كلتها في البلد هنا في بريطانيا كلها. معلش ما بين كل المطابخ التانية او الجنسيات التانية اللي بتعمل دولمة، الدولمة دي كانت من احسن الدولمات اللي ممكن تتاكل في بريطانيا. فيليب جمعة, love you bro.
Okay, so the next dish is Kuba Hamath. Now, for me, this dish is like a personal favorite of mine. Okay. I love making this dish because pretty much every non-Iraqi that comes to the events, supper clubs, they've never tried it. So I just love seeing their reaction.
Wow.
Kuba is quite general, but this version is very, very particular.
Is that why you did it for me today? Because I never tried it, and you want to see the reaction?
Hopefully, we will see. We will see.
Okay.
You know, it couldn't be an Iraqi, let's say, tasting without some form of Kuba. This is just so typical of our cuisine, and it's a personal favourite of mine. And it's quite far from the traditions of what Dad used to serve, or what you might be used to seeing. Very refined and lots of textures and colours. But yeah, I'm looking forward for you guys to try that and see for yourself. The secret is to have a wet palm, a clean palm and a wet one. Just here is where we're going to manoeuvre. We take this, which is ground rice.
Okay. So rice, how did you make it?
It's just pre-bought ground rice.
Okay.
Some beef and white pepper. So that's all that's in here.
Okay.
So all we're doing is just really...
So not much here in the meat.
No. There's not much ingredients at all. So the secret to an excellent Kuba is the very... So this, to explain, is your outer shell.
Okay.
And that is going to be your stuffing, your inside. But the secret to an excellent Kuba is a very, very thin outer layer. In your other hand, you want to take about this much stuffing mix. Now in here is lamb mince, Jumma spice, onions and salt.
Okay.
What you want to do, a lot of people put it in the middle. I've learned to put it on the side, okay? What we do then is take this layer and we just roll, 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 roll. So this lamb mince is now, look, it's now encased.
Okay. Wow, I'm listening to you while I'm doing it.
No, concentrate.
And the results are awesome. Surprisingly.
It's something that, honestly, it takes some time.
And listen, guess what? This is first edition.
Yeah.
This is my Kuba Hamath.
Oh, that would not make it on the menu. No. I'm sorry.
اللي عجبني فيليب ان هو عنده جود برزنتيشن، بيقدمه بطريقه كويسه وفي نفس الوقت كمان اهم حاجه ان هو لسه طعمه حلو، لسه محتفظ بكل العادات والتقاليد وكده هو بطريقه مختلفه شويه.
So with the kuba, we don't put this in the sauce fresh. We freeze them first.
And what is that?
They hold. So when you put them into the sauce, if I was to put that straight into the sauce, they'd break up.
Yeah, exactly. It lose its shape, texture.
Yeah, they'd lose a lot of things. Now that we've done the kuba, we're going to make the tomato sauce. Traditionally, it's a tomato sauce with turnips. I've kind of like had, let's say, my modern contemporary twist on this. So not only have I used turnips in it, but I've also created another texture by making turnip crisps. To begin with our sauce, just kind of simply take the onion. We're just going to be chopping that up. With that, we're going to put some garlic. We've just got some oil in the pan. Add the turnips as well, and then the tomato sauce, bring it to the boil, and then we're going to add the frozen kuba that we've done from before. So right now there's no permanent site as of yet. The way I guess you can try my food is through the supper clubs and pop-ups that I do across London. I'm also available for private hire in your home, so a lot of people who have dinner parties would hire me, and we'll have a lot of fun doing a tasting menu for them and their guests. And also catering for events. A lot of people have a lot more of a looser tomato sauce, like let's say soupy.
Yeah, runny one.
Yeah, runny. For me, I like it a little bit more thicker.
Me too.
And lots of turnips. Now for my family, we used to put dried mint on there. So instead of that, I've just made a very, very simple mint herb oil.
Okay.
Which just adds a little bit of freshness, colour, and everything else to the dish, okay? So, we've got another, let's say, layer of texture to have with this.
Okay.
And that is the turnip crisps.
This is a great idea.
So we fried these, and we just seasoned them in some salt when they came out.
Okay.
And you can just feel them. They're very, very crispy.
فانتاستيك 10 اوف 10 10 من 10 ما فيهاش اي غلطه ما فيهاش اي غلطه من اي نوع من اي غلط من اي حاجه perfect.
So in here we have some sea bream. So this has been just marinated in some onions, tomatoes, curry powder, tiny bit of dried lime, tamarind, and some other spices. You know, one day I would like to have a restaurant, and when that day comes, I think there'll be enough research and information that I've gathered over the last 3 years on what works and what doesn't to really put, you know, my footprint on the London restaurant scene, and in turn getting Iraqi cuisine the recognition that it deserves. Just need a little drizzle of olive oil, just a tiny bit, excuse me. A little bit of salt. It's going to go in the oven for around 10 minutes. Okay. We're going to check on that later. The coriander's been soaked in olive oil.
Yeah.
And what happens when they're soaked in olive oil overnight, they become hollow, but you can eat through them. And they're just a lovely texture and a little explosion of flavour in your mouth.
Okay.
We're going to add some red vinegar.
Wow.
and a tiny bit of sugar. Okay. So there's going to be layers of sharpness there. Okay, so the sea bream is ready. Now we've left it skin side up because we want to add the layer of smoky flavour to the fish, how it was baked and grilled in Baghdad by the River Tigris.
Okay.
So we do that by a blowtorch, which I believe you have. Is the blowtorch?
Here. Where? It's your torch.
We're just going to add, this merely is a level of smokiness to the skin.
Okay.
Just to let, as I say, it's almost to represent how the fish was cooked in Mesopotamia era, okay?
Wow. أنا مش مسؤول عن أي حاجة بتحصل في أي مسكوف في أي حلقة من حلقات البرنامج عندي من الآخر عشان الناس دي اللي عمالة بتعمله مش عارف إيه كله قاعد يطلع لك ويقول لك ده مسكوف.
Mascouf, it speaks for itself. It's an Iraqi classic. It's something very, very famous for Iraq. You know, we don't all have wood fire pits in our garden. We don't all have huge barbecues to cook this fish in the Iraqi way. So I've now made a conscious effort to really kind of look at the cooking techniques of how they used to do it and make it accessible for people in their homes to try it. Okay, so we're now 90% there. We're going to have our blowtorch out again.
Wow.
And so we've basically, this is about, senses again, and take Iraqi people to the Tigris, to where they used to eat this dish.
Very nice. I thought it would have a lot of tomato sauce. It don't. It just looks, but it's amazing. It's so light and nice.
Are you getting the char?
I'm good.
The burnt, the barbecue kind of.
It's more of a smell now, and I think the coriander has infused it a bit more with the smoky flavor. But it's fantastic, man. Wow. And the best thing about it is so light.
Yeah.
I don't feel like if I eat this, I can sleep now.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And this is what you want from your food. Omega-3,
and Iraqi,
vitamins.
no, it's so important you said that, because a lot of Iraqi dishes, they can be just, it's too heavy, it's too much.
Yeah, they're very heavy.
Trying to refine them and make them as light and as possible. Let me get in there. You want to take it all?
Yeah, I've been eating them alone, huh?
Plans for me, just keep working hard, really focus on my food. I've got a new tasting menu coming out very, very soon. It's taking some time to perfect, but we're nearly there. And yeah, open to opportunities later on in the year, potentially opening a restaurant. So, we're going to wait and see, but there's a lot here and a lot of work I'm going to put into this, and really, as I say, give Londoners the true Iraqi taste, shall we say.
أعزائي المشاهدين أهلا وسهلا. خلصنا الأكل مع فيليب وكان يوم جميل، بس لسه الموضوع ما خلصش. ليه؟ لأن احنا كنا عاملين اليوم ده كله عشان نأكل الشوية الصغيرين، مش هم الصغيرين، عشان نأكل الثعلب المكار. وعشان نأكل الثعلب المكار حطينا له كاميرا عشان نشوفه بياكل ازاي ونشوفه أكلاته ونحاول نروح معاه في جولاته. بس الثعلب طلع مكار، شاف الكاميرا فضل واقف كده وايه عمال بيديع عين كده وبيجرب وقلقان ياكل مكار. بس انا متاكد ان هو في لحظه هيجري وياكلها، يا هيجري مني. ونستفيد ايه بقى من هذه بقى القصه؟ هل نقول ان الثعلب مكار بيخاف من الكاميرا؟ لا، نستفيد ان الثعلب ما بيحبش المطبخ العراقي، بس ميكو بيحبه.